a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
These are good problems to have, right? So much success that you have more than one place to be.
My break, touchdown, Oregon.
Off a dribble, launches, and hits the three. Oregon leads.
What a great opportunity it is to be able to play at the University of Oregon.
I'm just incredibly proud to be a part of something like this.
She wants another three. Oh, three in a row.
Oregon is headed to the Super Regional.
Big Ten champions, your Oregon Ducks.
We are so privileged and so fortunate. We get to see all these young people. We get to see this incredible growth, which is what college is all about.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
And the winner of the 2024 Burlsworth Trophy from the University of Oregon, Bryce Boettcher.
Yes! Bryce Boettcher, the Burlsworth Trophy winner, with a huge round of applause. That's how you like to start the show today. Bryce Boettcher, inside linebacker, presented the Burlsworth Trophy, the nation's most outstanding player who began his career as a walk-on. Shout out Bryce Boettcher, two-sport star for the Ducks. He's the first player in program history to win the award. Announced at the ceremony last night. He was joined by head coach Dan Lanning, his position coach Brian Michalowski. Playing football and baseball, Boettcher joined the football team in 2022. He's the leading tackler for the undefeated and top-ranked Ducks here as a senior. Selected to the All-Big Ten second team by both the league's coaches and the media, helped lead Oregon to a 13-0 start for the first time in program history, a Big Ten championship, the number one seed in the college football playoff. Burlsworth Trophy winner. He's a Eugene native, 87 total tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 2 sacks and interception, a forced fumble, and 4 pass breakups. Has been the Ducks' leading tackler in 6 of the 13 contests this season. Named the Burlsworth Trophy walk-on of the week after the win against Oregon State. A 13th round pick by the Houston Astros in the MLB draft. Might have a decision to make about football here moving forward after an all-conference selection from the Big Ten. And speaking of Big Ten awards, Oregon quarterback Dillon Gabriel announced as the Associated Press Big Ten Offensive Player of the Year today, and that's after yesterday he was named a Heisman Trophy finalist. More coming up on the Heisman Trophy finalist, but also on the awards front. Bryce Boettcher, running back Jordan James, wide receiver Tez Johnson, and outside linebacker Mateo Iungale were selected to the All-Big Ten second team, according to the Associated Press today. Josh Connerly, Derek Harmon on the first team for the Ducks. It's award season. Also on today's show, we've got Athletic Director Tuesday with Deputy Athletic Director Val Johnson and Tracy Joyner. Announced as the Oregon soccer head coach last week, we've had so much football stuff going on that we haven't given, I think, that press conference the time that it deserves, so we're going to do that today. Her introductory press conference. Also, I had a great conversation with Tracy Joyner here in the studio. We have that for you this week. In addition to our conversation with Matt Ulmer, the Oregon volleyball team, traveling to the Sweet 16 today, we're going to have Matt Ulmer join us on the show tomorrow. Congratulations again, though, to Bryce Boettcher. It was really cool at the Burlsworth ceremony last night. They put together a great package on Bryce. He had some words up on stage, also a great acceptance speech, and that's where we kick off today's show. Bryce Boettcher honored by the Burlsworth Trophy Foundation.
Step up in the pocket. He's not going to be able to. Bryce Boettcher with a sack.
Bryce's walk-on story actually started on the diamond. 2 seasons into his Oregon baseball career, Bryce joined the football team as a walk-on. He arrived with a can-do, will-do attitude.
He's someone with a prove-it mentality. That's what really being a walk-on is all about. You got to prove something. You got something to prove every single day. He's really embodied that.
Head coach Dan Lanning can only smile when thinking of his first encounter with Bryce.
I remember when he first got here, he was playing safety. And I had to remind Bryce, you can't hit our own players like that at practice. Every once in a while, he'd have to go take a run, down around the field goal post because of the energy and enthusiasm that he had.
His teammates say they can always count on Bryce to bring the juice to the practice field.
You know, a great locker room guy, a guy that's, you know, out here on the field, he's going to bring energy every day. Whether that's, you know, coming out here with no sleeves on, when it's cold, when it's raining, a guy who's, you know, going to be the first in, last out, and, you know, got a lot of respect for him. So.
We're talking about a young man who got better each year in both sports, and this year has been magical.
Possibly 9-out save if he were to complete it.
Jackson, left center, and a diving grab by Boettcher.
A gold glove center fielder on the baseball diamond. As for football,
now you look at a guy that's leading our team in tackles, that's playing with relentless effort, and whether it was the first day he showed up and he's running down on kickoff, or now it's him out there on third down in the most critical moments of the game for us, Bryce has made an unbelievable impact on our team, and it starts with his work ethic.
His coaches say there is no greater example of a player who does things the Burls way.
He's that guy that's done everything possible to maximize his opportunities, and anything that comes his way, he absolutely deserves.
Just being that example to younger guys that are coming into the program in similar circumstance. Hey, you could play for the #1 team in the country, you could be on an elite defense, and you could be a walk-on that really earns valuable playing time and production for your team.
Please welcome Burlsworth Trophy finalist, Oregon linebacker Bryce Boettcher.
This award started in 2010. You are the first athlete that's been here that started in a sport other than football. Now, you had a choice, I guess, when you went to Oregon. Why'd you choose baseball?
It was the only opportunity I had. I would have loved to have played football at the University of Oregon to start, but, you know, they never sent me a letter and never recruited me, so baseball was just my only option.
Now, you've been an Oregon fan for a long time. In fact, I'd say after looking at that video, you've gone from duckling to duck, right? What's that been like?
It's been a dream come true. You know, I'm thankful for my parents for, you know, raising me in that town and taking me all the games growing up. It's a blessing, and, you know, to now be doing it for my hometown, like I said, it's a dream come true.
Who's the first Oregon football player that you thought, wow, I'd like to be like him?
Man, I had a Kenyon Barner jersey growing up, but I'd have to say Marcus Mariota definitely takes the cake on that one. Obviously, he was a really good football player, but just the way he handles himself off the field, from what I noticed, was incredible, and that's, you know, who I wanted to be like.
Okay, so you earned at least a partial scholarship in baseball. You had to give that up to do football. What inspired you to go to football?
It was, you know, it was just a passion that I had. You can't match the feeling you get when you play football. You can in baseball when you hit a homer or make a diving play, but I was just missing something in my life, and I think football was that. And when Coach Lanning got the job, there was a tweet sent out about walk-on tryouts. I was like, you know, I'd regret it down the road if I didn't at least give it a shot, you know, see what happened. You know, so I gave it a shot, and it was the best shot I ever took.
What's the first conversation you ever had with him?
First conversation I ever had with him was walked into his office after, you know, set up a meeting with him, and I shook his hand, and he said, "What position do you want to play?" And I said, "Safety," and he's like, "Perfect. You look just like we want our safeties to look like." And I was like, 195. I thought I was a little small for this, but he thought I was just the right size. You know, he welcomed me with open arms and, you know, made me earn everything that I've gotten today. But, you know, I'll forever be in your debt, Coach, and you too, Coach B. Mike. I appreciate you.
Okay, so you're a center fielder and a safety. That sounds like they make the same sense. How'd you get to be a linebacker and still play center field?
You know, I would probably say just my practice habits of hitting people probably a little too hard in practice is what got me to become a linebacker. And, you know, it's probably what Coach Lanning saw in me. You know, hey, we think you can play linebacker for us, so the transition wasn't easy. I never weighed 220, 225 pounds in my life. So, you know, it was a lot of early mornings, a lot of late nights, a lot of food that I wish I would not have eaten, but I had to put in my body. But it was the best decision that I ever made, and I'm grateful that, you know, he saw that I'd be a good backer presence on the team.
You see so many athletes, even at an early age, have to pick one sport. You're still playing two sports. Why did you continue with baseball when you made the football team?
Yeah, I just felt like I had, I still had that passion for baseball as well. And, I had been on the team for a couple of years, so, everyone knew who I was. And it wasn't necessarily that I was going to keep on going playing baseball. I just wanted to give it one more season. It was just kind of the one more mentality. And then my junior season rolled around, and I realized that once I started playing football, I got better at baseball again. I think there's a mental aspect to baseball that when you do it all the time, it's hard for me to be free. I'm the natural person when I'm competitive. I get tense, and I want to fight everyone that I see. And that does not work on the baseball diamond. You have to be relaxed. So I think waking up and going to football practice where I could hit people, get my anger out from striking out the day before, so then I could go out to football practice or the game in the afternoon, made me a better baseball player, so it worked out pretty well.
Now, you said one more season, but then you got drafted by the Houston Astros, and I guess you've already signed with them, but you've still got a decision to make when this year is over for football, don't you?
Yes, sir. I got drafted by the Houston Astros, and, I was obviously a blessing, a dream come true. I knew coming into this fall that I wanted to come back for one more season, and they were open to the idea, and I'm grateful that they were, because it's been one heck of a season, one heck of a ride, and I knew that again I would regret it later down the road if I didn't come back and play for my hometown one more season. And obviously it's been great, and I'm having a pretty big decision coming up here in a month or so, but it's a good decision to have to make.
Yeah, what has it been like? You're in a new league this year, and all of a sudden you're undefeated, and you not only win the league, but you're in the playoff as the #1 seed. What's that been like?
Yeah, it's surreal. It's especially being from Oregon, from Eugene, seeing the best teams to have come through the area, and being a part of one of them this far. But it's also the head down, not done yet mentality that, we just won the Big Ten championship. It's great, but it's not the final goal. It's not what we came here to do. Came here to do bigger things than that. And I think everyone on the team, and certainly the coaches, have that mindset and have instilled it in us. So it's, still a lot of work to be done.
Okay, and final question is it harder to hit a 98-mile-an-hour fastball or a 230-pound running back?
Man, I'd have to say hitting the 98-mile-an-hour fastball is quite a bit harder. If you're on the football field and you're going 3 for 10 on running backs, you probably wouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. But in baseball, you go 3 for 10, you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. So I'd have to say.
That's right. Well, we hope you're in the Hall of Fame someday. Thanks for being here. That's Bryce Boettcher.
Thanks to the Burlsworth Trophy Foundation for putting on what was a great show. I was watching on YouTube last night. The Burlsworth Foundation did a great job. And the acceptance speech that Bryce gave, outstanding. Wanted to make sure that you heard it today. As you can imagine, winning an award like this, there's a lot of people to thank. And I shout out to Bryce, who deserves everything that comes his way. It's been a real pleasure for me to work with him with both football and with baseball. Tremendous guy that you cannot help but root for. And if you weren't rooting for him and you don't know him, just listen to what he says in his acceptance speech, and you're going to root for him forevermore. Bryce Boettcher's acceptance speech after announced as the winner of the Burlsworth Trophy.
As my grandpa would say, this is the Heisman of walk-ons, and probably a little more impressive for all those walk-ons out there that know what it's like. So first off, I just want to say congrats to Sean and James for incredible seasons. Just getting to know you guys the past day or so. Our stories from the bottom are just very, very alike. Just sitting next to you guys at Topgolf, our character is very similar, and I think it's, obviously from our parents, but just what we've been through. So I appreciate you guys. I want to say thank you to Marty and Vicky. This event has been unbelievable. I did as much research as I could before coming here, and your hospitality has been unmatched. My family is very appreciative of what you guys have done for us. It's VIP everything, so thank you guys. And also, not just you guys, everyone else in the foundation has been unbelievable. I want to say thank you, Mom and Dad. I wouldn't be here without you guys. Mom making me all those snacks when I was little, doing my laundry, Dad coming home from work, it's 7:30 at night, you're tired in your UPS uniform, and throwing me wiffle balls in the backyard, and talking crap to me because knowing that's what I'm going to get when I'm older. I wouldn't be here without you guys, and I'm blessed, so thank you. I want to thank my grandparents sitting over there. You guys haven't aged a second between the past 2 days walking over to Arkansas up and down the stairs. You guys have been incredible, and just my biggest supporters. I love you guys. Thank you. Gary and Casey, thank you guys for being like second parents to me. You guys grew up in your house, best friends with your son. You guys are the best. Thank you, Karen, my aunt, for all those steak dinners whenever we hit a homer or make a big play. You're the reason I'm 225 pounds and not the 195-pound safety walking to Coach Lanning's office. I want to thank my sister, who lives in New York right now. She wasn't able to make it, but she's an unbelievable person, my best friend, and thank you, Emily. I want to thank my girlfriend, Bella, who's back in Eugene during finals right now. She's the best. I've been dating for a year and a half, and she's awesome. Love of my life. Thanks, Coach Lanning, Coach B. Mike, for making the trip. Thanks for letting a local kid crash your office and giving him opportunity. And thank you for not giving me anything. Everything that you have given me, I have earned, both you guys. And I have the most respect for both you guys because of that. And just thank you. Thanks to all my teammates back home in Eugene, especially thanks to my D-line for filling those gaps. Like you, James, I'm sure your linebackers love having you up there up front. They've, done everything for me. My teammates just enjoying their success so they can enjoy my success, as I put it. It's been incredible. And thanks to the fans of Autzen Stadium that make 54,000 sound like 110,000. For those that haven't been to Autzen Stadium, you should definitely go. It's incredible. And ultimately, I want to thank God just for blessing me with my ability to be where I am today. Without Him and growing in my faith, as Sean said, as a walk-on, you got to have a strong amount of faith. And that relationship with God has grown to this day. And I guess, again, I would like to thank all the coaches and people who have doubted me throughout my career. It's helped me get this far. Without them, I would not be here today. And ultimately, just because we're all here today, because of Brandon, just a football player who, embodied everything that a person should be, as we all know the Burls way. The legacy he has left is unmatched, and I'm just blessed to be standing on this stage, blessed to be in the same room with these two guys right here, and honestly blessed to just be around all the walk-ons at my school that share a part of his legacy. So I want to honor him and what he has done and his family for hosting this event. It's been incredible. So yeah, with that being said, thank you everyone for being here and supporting us three in this room, and go Ducks.
Great work. Bryce Boettcher's acceptance speech, the winner of the Burlsworth Trophy, first time in program history. That's awesome. How do you not root for this guy? Bryce Boettcher, outstanding. Award season continues for Oregon volleyball as well as Oregon football. Quick timeout, more awards. We're going to talk with Val Johnson coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Duck Insider continues after this timeout on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack with you here in the Country Financial Studio. Bryce Boettcher, the Burlsworth Trophy winner, also announced as one of a few Ducks honored by the Big Ten and the Associated Press. Dillon Gabriel, the Offensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten, according to the AP. 7 total Ducks honored at Josh Connerly Jr. and Derek Harmon on the All-Big Ten first team. And then Boettcher, Jordan James, Tez Johnson, Mateo Uyunglele on the All-Big Ten second team. Now, this is after big news yesterday with Dillon Gabriel, a 13-0 start, the quarterback leading the way. Heisman Trophy finalist, one of 4 that will be heading to New York, the most prestigious award in college football. The 88th winner will be crowned on Saturday of this week. He's joined by Ashton Jeanty, Travis Hunter, and Cam Ward. The 5th Heisman Trophy finalist in Oregon program history, 2nd in a row after quarterback Bo Nix finished 3rd in the voting last year. Joey Harrington, first ever finalist. Billboard poster still up on the wall here in the studio. It's going to be there forever. Michael James as well in 2010. Then Marcus Mariota won the Heisman in 2014. Bo Nix then the 4th, and now Dillon Gabriel the 5th. He'll be in Las Vegas today for the William V. Campbell Trophy, the nation's most prestigious scholar-athlete award, before heading to New York. And we'll find out as ESPN will broadcast the ceremony at 5 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday. 6-year senior Dillon Gabriel has started more games in college football than anybody in history at the quarterback position. And he's ranked 2nd nationally in completion percentage. He's top 15 in the country in completions, passer rating, total touchdowns, passing yards per game, and total yards per game. Pretty outstanding what he's done in his season. He is everything that the Ducks hoped he would be, transferring here to the University of Oregon. Gabriel and the Ducks will next play in the Rose Bowl. We'll find out. It's either Ohio State or Tennessee. Break all that down a little bit later in the week. Also, Oregon volleyball award season. Junior outside hitter Mimi Collier, the 2024 AVCA Northwest Region Player of the Year. Shout out to Mimi Collier and the Ducks. Oregon volleyball team collected 6 all-region accolades, including that Player of the Year honor for Mimi Collier. Ducks put 5 on the all-region team. Kristen Klein, Mackenzie Morris, Onio Michelle Owobete, and an honorable mention for Noemi Glover. 6 all-region picks are the second most in the country, trailing only Pittsburgh 7. Pitt is Oregon's next opponent. Oregon volleyball in the Sweet 16, 12:30 on Thursday in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, televised on ESPN2. The Duck season continues, and here's hoping that they're into the Elite 8. Oregon volleyball, one of the last 16 playing, number 1 Pitt. We'll talk with Matt Ulmer, the Oregon volleyball head coach, on the show tomorrow. Time out here, though, because Val Johnson's going to be with us next. It's Athletic Director Tuesday, talking with the Deputy AD when we come back to the Country Financial Studio on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Jan from Toyota here, live with some big news. Toyotathon is on. Okay, now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Dealer inventory may vary. Toyotathon ends January 6th. Participating dealers only. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Jan from Toyota here, live with some big news. Toyotathon is on. Okay, now back to your regularly scheduled programming.
Dealer inventory may vary. Toyotathon ends January 6th. Participating dealers only. Toyota, let's go places.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Kids ask their parents a lot of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
I'm coming home to the place that I remember. Back to the land of my first love. Would you spread wide your arms for this wayward son?
Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. The Oregon volleyball team is in the air. The sport administrator for Oregon volleyball is Val Johnson. So instead of talking to her live today, we said, hey, Val, can you come into the studio yesterday? It was a really busy day for Val Johnson getting ready with the Oregon volleyball team to travel. We were able to sit down with the deputy athletic director, cover a number of things, Oregon volleyball, Oregon basketball, and the last time that we'll talk to her for a while before the holiday break. Val Johnson, AD Tuesday. All right, I need to let everybody behind the broadcast curtain here a little bit. Deputy Athletic Director Val Johnson is with us. We're talking on Monday because the volleyball team is traveling to the Sweet 16. It's very exciting, but that means that there's a lot of logistics that comes with that, and Val's kind enough to join us and take a little time to talk in the final appearance of this calendar year. Has that settled in yet? That 2024 is almost over?
I know. It's almost done. It's almost done. It's
Wild.
been but how about how this year is ending, though?
Yeah.
I mean, this is a fantastic way to end 2024 for the Ducks.
And, I mean, a full calendar year for you in this role. Has that settled in? Like, whoa.
So, I know. Because this will be January will hit, that will mark year 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will mark
that?
it. Yeah, no. So
Another calendar year.
Another calendar year.
Yeah. Do you think in terms of the calendar year or the academic year when you review the years of your life?
Oh, I'm an academic year.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah, I'm a total academic year.
Yeah, to me, the new year begins like on the 4th of July.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Our lives are so much season based.
Yeah, it's strange.
I think I don't know if we ever left school. I mean, we never did. We started our first day of kindergarten, and then it's just another school year comes, and we've been so fortunate to always live our lives at school.
Right.
So
that's true.
It's just another school year.
I mean, I still have a summer. How many people say that?
Yeah,
right? Like it is
it
that
is.
way. So take fans up to this point, though. Let's do a little review of the volleyball season.
Yeah, for
ups
sure.
and downs. We're going to talk with Coach Ulmer coming up on today's show with the ups and downs and injuries, but still got the opportunity to host. That's what it's all about, getting to host.
Yes, it's all about getting that opportunity to stay at home in front of our fans, our student athletes being able to stay here, home court advantage in front of our student body, our fans, having families be able to come out is always the best. And huge kudos to Pooh and Casey, who run our championships. Obviously, our arena staff, they go above and beyond. I'm confident that no other institution can host championships like we do.
Agreed.
100%.
Saying, as someone who has been the guest elsewhere, I feel that way, just in my own little section of what that means. So thank you.
I mean, they go above and beyond.
Can I actually ask a bit of like an inside the process question again? So I don't know how many schools have a Pooh. So this is Aaron Wasson, who heads the equipment room, but also part of his title is running championships.
Yes, he's our championship director.
And that was a promotion for Pooh a few years ago. And I genuinely have no idea how many other schools have a title that is the championship director, and I feel like it's a huge advantage.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, to have someone like Aaron, a.k.a. Pooh. If someone asked you for Aaron, I wouldn't know who to direct you to, but Pooh. Pooh and Casey to really be the point and be the lead for when we're hosting any NCAA championships is such an advantage for us. And also for the institutions that are coming in.
Yeah.
You know, it just gives us that point person and really to level up the bar. And obviously we have the great advantage of our teams being able to participate in championships. Sure. And so we get to see what other institutions do and see what that experience is like, take notes, and then they bring it back here and we continue to level it up. And we want to make sure that those that are able to go on and have that championship experience when they come here to Oregon for that as a host site, that we make sure not only our team but those visiting institutions really have a premier experience.
I mean, I think too about like how many championships and even just like tournaments are hosted here. I mean, there's at least 5-6 a year at this point.
Oh yeah, between the conference tournaments that we host, I mean, we, whether it's, the Big Ten, we just hosted, cross country. Obviously we just did, volleyball with first, second rounds. We know that we're going to be hosting Big Ten track. Mm-hmm. We have a stronghold with doing a lot of postseason track events. It's just something that we do exceptionally well here. And you could see that not only for our student athletes take a lot of pride in that. And so for us to be able to get that bid to host this last week, that first and second round, really truly is special. And it gives us a lot of advantage. It really truly does to have that.
Huge advantage, great environment, winning the first two. That's why the Ducks are still playing this week on the road to Pittsburgh. Just what was the environment like? How rewarding is it for you after seeing what the team's gone through? You've traveled with them to see them advance and move on, get some wins.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, this team has had some struggles with injuries, and to see them be able to persevere through that. I mean, this team is so close knit. They love each other so much, and to be able to watch them just up close and personal really battle through those things and stick together and really persevere to get to this point in the season has really been spectacular. So excited to head on to Pitt. It's like a full circle moment. We started with Pitt, and now we're going to match up against them to hopefully head on to the next round. Now we got to go out to their turf and meet them out there. But it's going to be a great matchup. I mean, this is premier volleyball. And I really do think that our team is up for this challenge, and they're prepared, and we really have developed and really fine-tuned how we work together on the court as a team. So they're ready to go.
As we speak here on a Monday again, the Oregon volleyball traveling now today when you're listening to this interview. So thanks for going through a time warp with us.
Time warp.
Yeah.
I'm in the air.
That's right.
I'm actually in the air.
Probably
on my way
are
to Pittsburgh right now.
But to review that, Pittsburgh, huge marquee matchup for Oregon volleyball at Matthew Knight Arena to start the season. They've proven to be one of the best teams in the country since. And, I go back, to the scheduling. Like, even to have a marquee matchup like that, in addition to the Big Ten that is the best conference in collegiate volleyball, this is why you schedule those games.
For sure. And this is kudos to Coach Ulmer and his staff. They have historically done this type of scheduling for this reason. He is a proponent of making sure that preseason non-con schedule is tough.
Yeah.
And it's risky sometimes. I mean, we're seeing it right now in the college football playoffs. It's risky sometimes when you have that type of scheduling. But it helps prepare your team. I mean, these are the teams that you are going to face in the postseason, so why not face them in the preseason? And that's really been his philosophy. We are in the best volleyball conference. You know, we've had that opportunity through the Pac-12 and then now into the Big Ten to really face the top talent in volleyball. And so he's always made sure that, well, if we're going to see that during conference, we want to see it in the preseason because we'll inevitably match up to them once we're in the postseason. And here we are again, matching right back up against Pitt.
As an administrator, how much do you study those sorts of things like scheduling and what it means moving forward? How much do you look at that?
You know, it's interesting because I don't personally spend a lot of time just digging into it. Where I get it is from our coaches.
Yeah.
So I always say they're the experts. I'm there to learn from them. And they do such a great job with coaching me up about the ins and outs of it.
Sure.
By no means am I the expert. You know, they're the X's and O's. They know their opponents. They know the field, and they're there to guide me. I'm there to support them.
Yeah.
And Coach always knows. I'm like, you're there to coach. I'm there to administrate. Then we got Nellie Schaefer. She's there to operate. You know, if all of us are doing what we do best, that's where we really hone in together and can reach this high level of
What percentage
functioning.
of your job is paperwork?
You know, it's all computer-based now, but paperwork.
What percentage
you know,
of your job
you
is digital computer
Yeah,
paperwork?
it just depends. It's funny because, you know, we'll get this question from, you know, people that want to go into athletic administration. They're like, what's your day like? And
you're like, I don't know.
I don't know. Like even today, sitting down here, it's kind of nice to just be in this room and just sitting here right now.
Wait, I got to pause.
Yeah.
Because while we're getting ready to do this interview, Val literally ran to the bathroom. Probably the first time you've had a chance to go to the bathroom.
It might have been.
Since
Maybe,
all day.
I did, you know, suck down a 32-ounce Diet Dr. Pepper from McDonald's.
And then, true story, 30 seconds after Val walks out of the studio, our phone rang.
Yeah, it's been a morning, but we're getting a lot done. But it's just no 2 days are the same.
Right.
So there's some days where I have, and it's so hard for me and my personality, where I have to buckle down and just sit at my computer and just get through the inbox.
That's not you.
It's not me, and it kills me, and I hate it. But I have to do it. And today's one of those days where I'm like going between the inbox and phone calls. And, you know, I just said FedEx has nothing on us right now because with the logistics that Joey's doing and the crew's doing with the Rose Bowl prep, and it's all logistics right now. So anyone from FedEx out there that wants to school us on logistics for that new Chick-fil-A drive-through, who knows? Maybe they want to run us through some logistics.
It's all logistics.
It's all logistics at this point. But you know, there's no 2 days that are the same. And so the way that I learn is by doing this.
Sure.
And so if I'm sitting at my desk doing a lot of just paperwork, then that's like the death of me. So I try to make sure that I'm having more conversations and learning that way to apply it to what I need to do behind the screen.
You know, it's funny you say that. Like I think I'm becoming part of I guess, smaller minority that I like to go and have a conversation rather than try to send an email and then wait for a response. Maybe this is a little bit of a me problem because I need the reciprocation, and I want to make sure that I'm understanding everything properly. And it's what I do for a living. Also, I just talk to people. But I'm of that cut.
We're
I don't know.
just relational learners.
Is that the proper terminology?
Yeah, maybe we're auditory learners.
Yeah, I know that I am a visual and auditory learner.
Well, there we go. That's just how we learn best.
I don't like to type in front of a computer and then have an email get misunderstood. You know?
Correct. It's way better if I just get on the phone.
Yeah.
That's like our travel rep right now for the NCAA travel. I'm like, can we just talk on the phone?
Yes, please, NCAA travel reps.
They're fantastic. Shout out.
Talk about logistics. Moving a lot of bodies around this time of year.
A lot of bodies right now.
Yeah. All right, so that was volleyball. Best of luck.
Thank
you.
I
hope that we don't see you for like a couple weeks.
I'm hoping we're going to get to see Pittsburgh, and
That's
then I'm
right.
hoping we get to go spend some time in Louisville, and then,
Both
you know,
great places.
yeah, both great places. And then we'll just swing on back through Eugene. Then we'll go hit up Pasadena. And, you know, and then we'll do some travel with women's basketball, and, you know, it'll just be all the things.
So that's your schedule.
Yeah, that will be it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that will be it.
That's the plan. Now, of course, Big Ten championship means a heck of a lot for the whole athletic department.
For the athletic department, the city of Eugene, the state of Oregon, couldn't be more proud right now to be a Duck, and I'm sure everyone watching feels the exact same way. You can't even put it into words. I mean, so special. I will have to say, I was receiving a lot of text messages. Are you in Indy? And I'm like, I am at home on my couch in sweatpants after a week of hosting volleyball and then having 2 home women's basketball games that week, followed up by a Sunday of men's basketball. It was kind of nice to be able to go home after, advancing in volleyball, throw on some sweats and turn it on TV. It was ideal. It was ideal.
Are you a travel in sweats or travel dress up to travel person?
No, I'm not sweats, but I'm also not dress up.
Yeah.
I need to still be
I know a lot of people that they want to put on the business casual full suit type deal to travel, and I just don't understand it. As someone who travels all the time, I need to be comfortable in that chair.
Yeah, I need to be comfortable and warm.
Oh, yeah. Airplanes do get cold.
Yeah, they get cold.
See, I run hot. I'm the one that turns up the air spray all the way. And if the person in the middle doesn't want it, point it at me.
Okay.
Yeah. These are the important things you need to know on Duck Insider. Quick timeout. When we come back, more with Athletic Director Tuesday and Deputy Athletic Director Val Johnson on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I lack a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with 20 cans of beans. It's a recipe for disaster.
let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now, so good to see you.
Back in the Country Financial Studio, Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union, continuing Athletic Director Tuesday with Deputy Athletic Director Val Johnson talking volleyball, women's basketball, and more. Pretty exciting so far.
Very exciting. I mean, so much amazing talent on this team. I mean, such a hard one the other night against USC.
Yeah. To eliminate the second quarter, it might be a different outcome.
It's one of those. I actually was telling someone, I'm like, if young people out there don't think they need to pay attention to math, just pay attention to sports.
You're so right.
Just pay attention to sports, because there's so much math that goes on, and I'm not a math person, but, they always say, football's a game of inches, and it is, and
it's also a game of clock management. Knowing when to score what type of point.
Exactly. It's so much strategy. I mean, football with the angles. I mean, you got to know exactly, when he's the route and running. I mean, pay attention.
What's your break point on the route? What angle
Correct.
are you
Just
at? Yeah.
Pay attention. Somehow there's a lot of math and science involved in all of this.
Yeah.
A lot of math and science. I was trying to figure out the math when I was looking at the post-game stats for women's basketball. How do you win 3 of the 4 quarters
and lose
and still lose?
Well, volleyball, here's your enigma. You could dominate in volleyball in total score
completely,
but you lose in 4 or 5 sets.
It's why I wasn't a math major.
Yeah.
But I mean, they score more threes than you.
Right.
It's all those
math.
things. It's all math.
I actually have an old friend of mine who is like famously, he always would say like, I hate math. He'd get C- in math, and like it just never was his thing. And then I finally was like, hey, but what about statistics?
Right, love stats probably.
But to him, it was like, well, that's not math. It's a whole different.
There's a whole different category.
But if you asked him to break down a batting average and an ERA in baseball, he was there.
Totally
he could do
different.
It. So
yeah.
there you go. Sports, math. Who knew?
Yeah, so who knew? But no, hoops. I mean, there's just so much. I mean, I was like beaming with pride for Ari Long watching that game. The thing that I think sets this team apart this year is it's just overall talent.
Yeah.
Where it's not about your starting 5. You could go to the bench, and who's coming in off the bench is going to equally perform. So that has been really fun to watch. They're a great, fun group as well, and it's going to be a really, really exciting season. And I think just like what we saw with volleyball was a little bit different because we saw a lot of these teams anyhow, just because that's who we would play in the pre and the postseason. I'm really excited with women's hoops just because we're going to see so many more new teams that we haven't played before. And I think that's going to be really cool to see with this team this season.
Did you go to Hawaii? I can't remember.
I did.
Yeah. How was that?
Yeah. It was great besides, the 2 losses,
outcomes,
unfortunately, the outcomes of those games. But then I think that was their first road trip together. So
it's kind of a reward, too, to go to a place like that, right?
And it is. It's great because you get to see the team and the staff together in a different light.
Sure.
And that was their first time on the road. And, so I think that was a good trip for them to work out some of those kinks. You obviously want the outcome to be different. You would love to walk away with 2 wins. But Georgia Tech and South Dakota State, those are some 2 good teams.
Top 25 caliber receiving votes, yeah.
For sure. I mean, and I think sometimes we lose sight of that because it might not be 2 teams that we hear about, especially out here on the West Coast, especially in the Pacific Northwest. But we were watching them play. I was like, oh, my gosh. I mean, they got some talent on these teams.
Sure.
And, so that was really cool to, again, see 2 teams that we typically don't see. South Dakota State I'm a little bit more familiar with just because I was at a FCS school.
Sure.
So we know their football program a little bit. But it was just a little bit different, with, being on the road with that team. And so, just seeing that, knowing what's ahead for them, great talent, great student athletes. It's going to be a fun season.
Your background, Val Johnson joining us, it has been at times as an academic professional on the athletic side. It's finals week.
Yeah.
So I wanted to take that opportunity to ask you just about the staff that makes that go. You talk about the JQA. You talk about proctoring, and we were just discussing that proctoring finals on the road, for example, when you're in the middle of postseason. Like, for our fans, can you just put into words like what that staff does to help keep things going?
Well, I could just tell you right now, Jenny Leander, who is the director of our JQuest Center, and Janine, who is the volleyball team and also football, by the way, academic advisor, has done amazing work over the last, I'm going to go 48, 36 hours, whatever it might be, with just working out the academic support for our student athletes.
Yeah.
Now, this goes above and beyond. I was in there on Saturday, and I saw one of our academic advisors in there with a couple of our student athletes, and this was on Saturday. And buildings closed. They were in there witching hour working on some project.
Final project.
These are our unsung heroes. I mean, I say the same thing about like our athletic trainers, but they're visible. You see them at games, you see what they do. They run out on the court. You don't typically see our academic advisors, our tutors, our learning specialists. You don't see them. Janine even in this last week, I mean, we have this text or this email thread going right now about our volleyball student athletes and their finals. We were anticipating possibly traveling today. We've pushed that till tomorrow, and mainly so we could get finals completed for a majority of the volleyball team. And with her help, along with Josh Gordon, our faculty athletic rep, they were able to arrange things with the student athletes that a majority of them will get most of their finals done today. And then when we go on the road, I'll proctor a few of those exams that are left. So that work doesn't stop. But yesterday after practice, when we did huddle them all up to talk about, like, here's the potential plan, because at that point, I mean, up until my phone rang just a couple minutes ago, we didn't know what time we were leaving. There was some fear in their eyes about, well, we do have finals tomorrow.
Sure.
And we explained to them that we will give them that time to make sure they could get those finals done. And so there is a lot that goes into it. Again, it goes back to those logistics.
Yep.
A lot of times people forget that they are still students. They are student athletes. That comes first. That's the reason why they're here. They're at a university. All those things do not stop just because there is a game to be played. All of that's still happening. So
oftentimes the little, again, behind the broadcast, oftentimes the academic representative who's traveling with a given team, sometimes the best place for them to sit is actually next to me. I don't know if you've heard about this. So Annie Longtain, who's from the Jaquez staff, former Oregon
she was the one that was there on Saturday, by the way.
That sounds right. That sounds right. Well, Annie actually at the men's basketball tournament in Las Vegas, she sat next to me, and at one point I had looked down, something happened. Annie got that producer credit on the Oregon Sports Network because Annie was like, here's what happened. And I was like, I am so glad you are sitting here. So shout out to Annie. I haven't said that on the air since the basketball game.
Yeah.
That was helpful.
Annie, you could go through the whole list of our academic staff, but they are rock stars.
We also have not had you on the show since Dr. Maggie Doe came on the show. Dr. Doe was outstanding.
I watched.
And break it down. How was it?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I was trying to look to see if she made it on the board over there for 2-minute live story. She didn't, huh?
Didn't quite get but I got to tell you, the cut's real.
It's a tough cut.
It's close now. The top 5 are all within like 3 seconds.
I know it's a tough cut, but I did watch.
Yeah.
I think I was on the road when she was on.
Yeah, Dr. Doe was great.
Yeah. She's fantastic. I actually pulled her away. She was at, I think it was before you all left on the road. It might have been Wednesday, and I pulled her to the side, and I said, how about this for your first year? And
well, maybe she's good luck.
I said, how about that? And I was kind of poking at her a little bit, like, how about, is this what you signed up for your first year? She's our head team physician. Mm-hmm. Her primary responsibility, is taking care of our student athletes. Mm-hmm. And obviously coming in, she hit here right at the start of fall sports. Mm-hmm. So a big chunk of what she does is in the fall is football student athletes. And that's no small feat.
No.
And I think she has done an exceptional job. Dr. Davidson has set the stage for her. Fun fact, this is Dr. Davidson's last week in clinic. So his last clinic is this Friday. I just talked to him today. We will be having a retirement reception for him after football season. We didn't want to, overshadow the retirement, so we're going to wait until all of the all the fun stuff is done in the department.
If I could, just a little context. So Val oversees the athletic medicine. Yeah, and continuing that context, she oversees athletic medicine, and Dr. Davidson's retiring, and now coming into Dr. Doe, it's been awesome to get to know her. So many things to cover with Val Johnson. And, she and I were talking after we were done recording yesterday that she just is appreciative of the fans. You talk about women's basketball season rocking and rolling. And now Val is on the road with Oregon volleyball. The Ducks playing on Thursday against Pitt at 12:30, ESPN2 for the telecast. Thanks again to Val for joining us. Time out. When we come back, reviewing all those awards as award season continues for the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
My son, Ricky, took his life by the use of a firearm. It broke me, and I contemplated suicide. My grandson, I was gonna have to be here for him. I still own my firearm. I keep it in a safe because I want to keep my grandson and myself safe.
Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You taught me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Final segment of Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack here with you in the Country Financial studio. Shout out again. I'm getting ahead of myself. Shout out to Bryce Boettcher, the Burlsworth Trophy winner announced last night. That's so cool. The best player who started his career as a walk-on. Bryce Boettcher given that trophy last night from the Burlsworth Foundation. Awesome for the dual sport athlete at the University of Oregon. Eugene Guy, if you weren't rooting for him already, that acceptance speech alone, you're going to be rooting for him. Just an awesome accomplishment for Bryce Boettcher. Dillon Gabriel, a Heisman Trophy finalist. That was announced yesterday afternoon. The 6-year senior going to be one of 4 finalists in New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony on Saturday. Tonight, he is at the celebration for the Campbell Trophy, which is what we would refer to as the academic Heisman. That's what you like to hear. If you're a student athlete, pretty great honor for Dillon Gabriel. Shout out to Oregon Volleyball. 6 all-region honors as well. It's award season. Tomorrow, probably some more awards. See you then.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle. Or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave